Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I wanted to do a video specifically for Arike to give her a shout out for her performance last night against the U.S. Olympic basketball team in the WNBA All-Star game. Not just for her performance, but for the backstory of her performance. And I do have a cool clip for you with Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game that just shows you just a little bit more into the rotting brain of Cheryl Reeve, which is kind of funny as well. So Arike shows Team USA what it's missing after politics dig. So for those of you that don't know, when the All-Star game, when the Olympic team roster was announced, and it was a big story about why Caitlin Clark wasn't on the team. It was a missed opportunity and so on and so forth. And then people were saying, hey, well, wait a minute. What about the season Arike's having for Dallas? And she should be on the team. And as it turned out, Arike had withdrawn herself from consideration to the Olympic basketball team because she felt in going to the different, the trainings, the tryouts, the camps, whatever you want to call them, she just felt like she was not going to be given a legitimate opportunity to make the team. She was not going to get offered a roster spot. She felt that it was political, and so she withdrew. Okay, got that? Good. So last night, she went off on the Olympic basketball team, Team USA, by setting a new WNBA All-Star record of 34 points, every single point in the second half. By the way, Arike said Cheryl Miller called her out by name in the locker room. Not in a bad way, but she just basically said, hey, take a breath, play your game. Arike went out and lit it up. And if you look at her, she's one of those players, for those of you that have been around basketball long enough, you've seen these before, that she is a scorer, which means she is at times going to be absolutely ice cold. And look, she does not have a good shooting percentage this year. She's playing great otherwise. But the thing is, she's that type of player that when she gets into a rhythm, when she gets into that zone, when she becomes unconscious, as we like to say with these types of shooters, everything goes in, no matter how ridiculous the shot, no matter the degree of difficulty, no matter how many defenders, it's just going to go in. And that was her second half last night. It was crazy to watch. She led Team WNBA to a 116-109 victory. I believe the highest margin was like the game wasn't actually this close. They got up like 20. I believe it might have even been 21 in the second half and then sort of coasted. In fact, Caitlin Clark was supposed to go back in. She had a shot to at least tie Sue Bird's record, if not break it, and she actually refused to go back in because she was going to go in for Arike, and Arike was lighting it up, and Caitlin was just like, "Oh, she is in that zone. I'll watch," which is crazy in a good way. I mean, good for good for Caitlin, but yeah. So obviously, it was a satisfying victory for Arike. She previously slammed the politics involved during the selection process for the Olympic team, which led to her withdrawal, which she said was on her own terms because she believed the committee did not want her on the team. Now, she has been an all-star in each of the past 3 seasons. She felt like she deserved a seat on the plane to Paris. And look, I would agree. And I'm going to show you that in a minute as well. She says, I had an idea I wouldn't be on there. There's trials that happen throughout the year. You do it and you see the vibes. Me being me, I just felt the vibes. When it comes to that stuff, it really isn't about your game. It's about what fits with the team. I actually took my name out of the pool. I knew I would not be on it. It's politics. I can't really speak on USA basketball in general, but when it comes to women's basketball, politics is always around it. whether Team USA, all-star teams, or whatever, there is politics in everything. Even on the men's side, I'll just leave it at that. After being crowned 2024 All-Star MVP, Arike was asked about her performance and whether it sent a statement to the rest of the WNBA. The Wings guard didn't have much to say, but made her feelings clear as she replied, "Y'all see it." Oh yeah, here it was. She's at halftime. Coach told me to take a deep breath and go out there and play my game. And like it says, her withdrawal from the pool was overshadowed by Caitlin Clark's snub, as I mentioned, with many fans expecting her to be selected due to her popularity. Nah, this is another one of those things I want to point out because you see, and I have some other videos I have to do and follow up on different things like this, but you always just wording is so important. You can't just let this stuff slide by you. No, fans expected her to be selected due to her ability. And I know there are people who are focused on the popularity angle, and that's because despite denials by the U.S. Olympic Basketball Committee, part of their platform is yes to grow the game. And Caitlin Clark on the Olympic team is a chance to grow the game. So there were people who very much focused on that angle, but in general, no, fans didn't expect her to be selected because she was popular. They expected her to be selected because she was good enough. So, to that point, one other thing I wanted to point out on this. Oh shoot, where is it? Is this it? Yeah, for those don't know, and I said this is Arike's second All-Star Game MVP. Guess when the last one was? It's when she scored a game-high 26 as Team WNBA defeated the USA Basketball Women's National Team the last time they had this format at the last Summer Olympics back in 2021. Remember, it was moved from 20 to 2021 because we all know why. But yeah, so her two All-Star Game MVPs are flat out smoking USA Basketball Women's National Team, which was kind of funny. And a couple other things for you on that note. Diana Taurasi was furious after loss to WNBA All Stars on Saturday. Yeah, I can imagine. WNBA All Stars took down Team USA in the WNBA All Star game on Saturday evening. Diana Taurasi was not happy. Not happy. She had a blunt message for her teammates after the loss on Saturday evening. And it was this effing sucks. It's a good reminder we got to come to play no matter who we are, Taurasi told her teammates after the game on Saturday evening. Now, my guess is there's a little extra from Diana Taurasi in terms of being upset with that loss. Why? Why, you might ask? That is a fantastic question. I appreciate you asking. Because it was just, once again, it completely exposed, as Arike said, the politics of the roster selection. Diana Taurasi, thank you for your 5 Olympics previous. Thank you for helping the 5 gold medals. You had no business being on this team. Yesterday's game was an example of that. By the way, she's not the only one. Let's take a look at this. Now you have Arike and Caitlin Clark. The only thing Caitlin didn't have going for her was the 3 last night. Everything she had going for her, 10 assists in 26 minutes. Total floor general. She had everything going for that team. Threw some passes that were just like, I'm telling you right now, everybody else in that All-Star team is like, hey, we gotta get Caitlin on our team. I want to play with Caitlin Clark. She makes me look good. So let me ask you, who do you want going to the Olympics as your starting backcourt? Arike and Caitlin, or say, oh, we got to go the other way. Diana Taurasi, maybe Chelsea Gray, who is nowhere near the player she was before her injury and still coming back on that. Who were blah last night? Jewel Lloyd, who didn't score a point. A lot of guards on this team too. So you're going to tell me Diana Taurasi, Chelsea Gray, Jewel Lloyd. Kalia Copper, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Sabrina Nescu. They're all better than Arike and Caitlin. Copper 7 points, Plum 9 points, Young 2 points, Nescu 5 points. And I'm not knocking Nescu. She's a great player. She should be there. But really, do you want this backcourt? And you can pick two of the three. They're the ones that started. Diana Taurasi and Chelsea Gray, Diana Taurasi and Jewel Lloyd, Chelsea Gray and Jewel Lloyd, or do you want Arike and Caitlin Clark? And by the way, just to rub it in a little bit, we also have this Alicia Gray, uh, the backup, one of the backup guards for the WNBA team, had 16 points. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell, fellow Indiana Fever guard, 13 points. Team WA is the team with the guards, not Team USA. And if you don't think that's true, and you didn't see my previous video also about Cheryl Reeve, go check that out, because here's a big reason. And by the way, she still was the floor general and had 10 assists. But if you checked out my other video where I talked about how important it was to Cheryl Reeve to just shut down Caitlin Clark, here's an example. This is the whole run of the assist that Caitlin Clark had to Aaliyah Boston. That was the and one and the foul, where Jonquel Jones turns around and looks at Caitlin Clark like, how the bleep did you throw that pass? So this is the inbound. They got to go 94 feet. Remember, this is the All-Star game. This is what was important to Cheryl Reeve. Look at this. This is an All-Star game. Full court. Full court. Not going to leave her alone. By the way, she makes a mistake of going after Aaliyah Boston there. Boom. Jones loved it. Clark loved it. Clark loved it for Aaliyah Boston, of course. But yeah, that is what you got. That right there is what you got from Cheryl Reeve. That's what was important to her. She just wanted to shut down Caitlin Clark. It's so embarrassing. There has to be a complete and entire overhaul of U.S. basketball, at least on the women's side. I'm sure there's some nutty stuff goes on the men's side too, because again, that's just the way it is with right. It's an unaccountable bureaucracy. They do whatever. Nobody's getting fired or anything like that. There you go. Anyway, shout out to Rike for being Team USA kryptonite not once, but twice. 2 All-Star Game MVPs, 2 wins against Team USA. Um, had a great partner in crime last night with Caitlin Clark. That's the guard duo I want starting in the Olympics right now. Right now. Not in 4 years. Right now. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, please. I really, really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you later.